West Virginia State University, where community leaders are developed.
Experience 21st century learning. Experience friendships that last a lifetime. Experience the world through international opportunities at West Virginia State University. Experience a dynamic learning environment with over 80 areas of study, intimate class sizes, and affordable tuition. West Virginia State University. Experience the power of education.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. We are still talking here with Coach Allen, coach of the WVSU softball team. And you kind of let us in right before the break. We were talking about Brittany Hyatt against Concord in the split, the 1-1 split. In Game 2, she had a big home run in the 6th inning of a tie ball game. It was 1-1, not a lot of runs being scored. Right. And she hit a big home run, big moment for Brittany Hyatt, and no better player to step into that moment, I'm sure, for you.
Yeah, she's the real deal. I mean, we're probably going to go into mourning when she leaves because she's just been a blessing to this program. And she's the best shortstop in our conference and probably the best shortstop in the region. Yeah. She's the real deal.
Yeah, and just watching her, I mean, we talked a little bit about how much fun she is to watch, and we talked about, when the ball is coming her way, I'm sure you can relax a little bit knowing that because she is just so solid, it seems like, out there in the field.
Yeah, we feel like we have, our second baseman, Desiree Giffen, is hurt right now, and hopefully she's going to be back by this weekend, so we've had to move Maddie Best in from center field to play second, and she knows what she's doing there. And when Desiree and Brittany are on, it's fun to watch them.
No question. Now, the WVSU tournament is in 8 days, and you play. And before that tournament, you play 5 games in the next 5 days. What will you be looking for to kind of fine tune yourself before you get into that tournament?
I want to get my pitching back to where it was. I want to get them healthy, and I want us to do as much live hitting as we can. We've got to hit in this tournament to win it, and if I can get my pitching back to where it was and Jade keeps getting better and better, then I think we're going to be fine in this tournament. I'd like to stay, right now we're number 3. I would like to stay in the 3 spot because that would put us against Shepherd, which is in the number 2 spot. Shepherd beat us twice, but it was 1-0, 6-5, and I believe we can play them better than we did up at Shepherd.
No question. Now, Sturms and Hyatt, we talked a little bit about Hyatt. Kayla Sturms is someone we talked about on the show before, but right now they are the 2 leaders in the conference in batting average. Hyatt rather, 433, Sturms at 430, and Sturms was slow out the gate just because of some injuries and didn't have as many at-bats. She has 100 at-bats now on the season, and she is really coming along. How have these 2 girls led your team offensively? Well,
we bat Brittany number 3 because she doesn't like to be in the 4 spot, and Kayla loves it. Kayla is probably the best 2-strike hitter that I've seen in a long time. She opens up if she gets 2 strikes on her, and she will put the ball in play, and she comes up big for us a lot, driving in runs. She's only 5 foot tall, and but I'm telling you, when you got to pitch to her, she is not an easy out.
And they're 2 of the better defensive players as well on the team. They play Hyatt plays shortstop, Sturms plays third base, and so that left side of the infield is very solid for you defensively.
Yeah. And then you got Bobby Harper at first base that's hitting I think Bobby's hitting like 357 right now. And she used to play third base, and we moved her to first. And of course, you had Bobby on a couple segments ago, I think. Mm-hmm. She's the one that has the heart problem, and she's just a tough kid. I mean, she doesn't let it get her down. She does everything the other kids do. And she's pretty good when you got runners on base, too.
Now, you currently sit at third place in the WVAC. How do you feel? Is that an accurate, you think, of where you are right now? Is the teams, it seems like it's kind of shaken out, and the better teams are starting to move their way towards the top of the conference?
Yeah, I think it's pretty accurate for us. There are a couple teams down below us in like 5th, 6th, and 7th that haven't played a lot of their games. And I don't think that's really accurate. And I think what's going to happen is, depending, you're going to have some teams that go into the tournament seated higher than they really should be. And I think next year they're going to make some changes in the way scheduling's done, makeups are done, and but I just hope we can stay in the 3 spot going in, and we'll see what happens.
You brought up some of the scheduling issues. Right now, I know you 5 games in the next 5 days. What is the schedule changes that have gone on in the last couple of weeks?
Well, we were supposed to play Bluefield tonight, which I think we're okay with. We're supposed to play Wheeling Thursday. They got rained out yesterday, so they have 2 makeups ahead of us. So they're probably not going to be able to play us because there's no dates open. And then Friday we would play D&E, and Saturday Salem, and then Monday be West Virginia Wesley, and then we go to the tournament. So right now, I mean, they say we're going to have rain every day, and the coach from D&E said she'd play at midnight if we could get it in. So, we may have a 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock start there. That's probably about as late as we could start.
How about the parity in this conference right now? You have 3 teams that are kind of in the bottom that kind of stand alone, but then the top 11 teams in this conference, I feel like anybody could go out there and win on any given day.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen it D&E stronger than they've ever been. Seton Hill's strong this year. Ohio Valley, Glenville's strong. There's just a lot of good teams, and if you don't have your A game and you don't play your best, you can get beat on any day in this conference.
And 10 games in 5 days, 5 doubleheaders, 5 days in a row. You go back to spring break and how you same kind of strategies there with subs and things like that.
Yeah, and we hope that we haven't lost the conditioning level that we had when we went on spring break. Now, I'm sure we're not quite as in good a shape as we were then, but I think we'll get through it. And if we have to take a day off or 2 days before the tournament, that's what we'll do to let them rest.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's going to work out is that after the Wesleyan doubleheader, you have 3 days, I believe, until the tournament starts, and that can be important. Of course, with playing 5 games or 10 games in 5 days, you got a team that's going to be tired, so they're going to have an opportunity to rest.
Well, Kerry did some medicine ball work with him yesterday, which kind of helps keep those muscles toned up a little bit. It wasn't a real heavy workout, but hopefully it'll remind those muscles that they need to be tight. And she knows what she's doing, so I hope it works out.
Now, as far as regionally, talk about where you stand in the region. There's a possibility of softball past the WVIAC tournament. Just kind of talk about what you would need to do in the tournament and the rest of the regular season to play past the WVIAC championship.
Well, we'd have to. Right now, we're not ranked in the region. Shepherd and Wesleyan are. Our record is better than some of the teams that are ranked in there. We would have to have a good tournament, and we need to do well in these next few games. And if we could get in the top 8 in the region, then we could possibly go, even if we don't win the tournament. So we need to finish strong, and there is a possibility we could make it that way.
Now, speaking of the conference tournament itself, what is kind of the format, and where do you hope to be seeded? I know you mentioned you kind of hope to be matched up against Shepherd. How is the format differ from kind of your strategy in the regular season to playing in the tournament?
Well, when you go into the tournament, it's if you lose 2 games, you're gone. So you got to kind of use your pitching the way you feel like it can win for you. Sometimes that backfires. Some people will use their number 2 or number 3 in their first game and they get beat, and they're in the loser's bracket. Once you hit the loser's bracket, you're playing a bunch of softball. To win the tournament, you have to win 5 straight games, you just got to use your players, and you got to look at your opponents and see what their strengths and weaknesses are, and then you try to play to beat that. The brackets, like right now, if we played, Glenville would be in Wesleyan's bracket, and we would be in Shepherd's bracket because we're 2 and 3. And then you get a first-round bye, and then 5 plays 12, and then just goes towards the middle. So if we can't win at all or be in first, the place I'd like to be is second or third.
Well, thanks a lot, Coach, and we look forward to the next 5 days seeing this team play, and then the tournament, of course, on the 28th. Thanks for coming on the show.
Okay, thank you for having me.
It's time now to take a break here from the Coach's Corner. Thanks to Coach Allen for joining us. We'll be right back with Andreas Lusarchuk, who is a #1 tennis player for the women's tennis team here at West Virginia State.